this one on the recording later, going to be on this page, right? So we're converting this to the YouTube page. So later after this one, you're going to get the recording and you can watch some past recording or schedule the new one. Or if you need it, you can schedule the one-on-one. Only issue this one is typically booked like 2-3 weeks further because we have a lot of interest right now, right? So there's some little bit logistic. And this is a more like I'm going to go through the intro about what MSPbots is and do some demo along the way to say how it works. But I want to make it a little bit more like interactive, right? So it's really, if anything, you have any questions, please feel free to interrupt. And from the registry survey, I say majority of you guys have the Bright Gauge, and we get a ConnectWise user, BMS user, all task user. Most of you are centralized dispatching, but some of the are using the self-dispatching. I have employees working from home and want to learn more about this, about MSPbots. Cool. So yeah, so first I want to go through a couple of quick slides, give everybody a quick overview, right, about MSPbots before I dive into the demo session, right? So the first one, yeah, this is a title I used for another seminar there. It says, okay, the main goal is using the data-driven process automation to help MSPs move to the next level. Right? I'm the CEO and founder of MSPbots. Also, I'm a founder and former CEO of my MSP. I still an owner of the MSP, just become a minority owner after I merged with my friend. So super quick about myself, originally from China, been here in Chicago for 21 years. I actually live in Chicago downtown. If any of you come to Chicago, want to talk, feel free to reach out. And I learned about MSP actually from Robin when I joined Robin Robbins group back then 2008. Actually, I started my MSP with my peer group members. Right, so this is I grown the MSP from 0 to 1.7 million in those 7 years, and kind of get burned out, and eventually found a CEO, left the business 2016. So I was in the trenches every day, right, from me being the technician, sales, marketing, HR, everything. So I fully understand the painful experience. It's like a whack-a-mole, sucker punch. Every day, every week, right? That kind of situation. So also I'm a Robin Robbins member, Taylor Business member, was the Truman Sutter EO group of members. So I went to multiple peer groups, learned a lot from my peer group members, and also see, the problems I had is not just me, it's every MSP has the trouble, dealing with the process, people side, right? So after I left, I did a 3-year semi-retirement, mainly doing some angel investing, focus on the big data, SaaS, AI. Combination with the 3 things here, I started MSPbots 2019. So this is a 3.5 years later. We're out of beta last December. It's a freemium product. We're approaching to the 100 employees now. Majority of the employees in the development and the data analysts. Actually, we're hiring about 2-3 data analysts every week right now. So currently, I think this number is no longer accurate. We're approaching to 900 MSPs, because every day we have the MSP signing up right here. So a little bit background. And what's the problem we're trying to solve, right? With my personal experience and so many MSPs within my peer group and MSPbots clients, we say, when I started MSP, first months, I really have no process. Then we're still creating some process once we hire people. And if you're in some kind of a peer group or coaching program, it's pretty easy to get a peer group. You can go to the, Reddit, MSP Gig, Tech Tribe, super low cost. You can get a tons of a process. So, hey, anybody willing to share your new client onboarding process? Bam, you probably get 3, 4 Word, PDF documents in hours, right? In those forums. But the most challenge is really there in the people. Today's world, hiring is crazy difficult, right? I have many conversations. It's just insane, last 2, 3 years, what happened. And every human make mistakes, include managers, owners, employees. But whenever employees making mistakes, cutting corners, it's always the management that need to go there, clean it up, bear the consequence, right? Time, energy, emotion, all those kind of stuff, right? Sometimes lost client because the employee mistakes, not sometimes, almost most time, right? So what we're trying to solve here is first the visibility, right? How can you quickly figure out when employee made a mistake? Then take actions by giving them the training, help them correct the mistakes, get back on track. And if it doesn't work, right, how can you hold people accountable, right? So make sure just because 1 or 2% doesn't care or not capable to do the job, that ends up lose the client or things go too far. So this is 3 areas from where MSPbots really focus on fixing. Because regardless, right, you keep growing, you're gonna hit the capacity, you need to hire more people, or even you're not growing, right? The most of the employees stay in the company 3 or 5 years in average. So you're gonna need to keep hiring people and training them and hold them accountable, right? Not to mention with the inflation, the wages just keep going up, every single year. So the solution there, what we do is we wanted to say, hey, how can we use the bots as a digital workforce, right? To help the MSPs to gain the efficiency. Start with we have the dashboard, give you the business intelligence, quickly figure out what's going wrong, what went wrong. Then you go to the benefit of using the bots over the human, right? Once we can start automating those mundane repetitive tasks, right? So you can really, once we can automate those mundane repetitive tasks, it's bots never sleep, never go to vacation, days off, 24/7, never forget anything, have no attention span, can handle millions ticket all at the same time, right? There. So, and then it's not regulated by law, always do the high priority task, no overtime, and retain the training forever. You set up the bots once, it just keep running, exactly as you want to be, at a fraction of the cost with the human side, right? So it's really a superpower whenever you can do the automation. So we have a tons of stuff, last 3 years, work, but I'm picking a couple of areas. Here's the 4 areas I want to focus the time on. So first, we say we are the best BI system for the MSPs, right? So many of you guys here are using the Bright Gauge or Power BI or some, yourself other based on the existing dashboard. So I'll go through spend some time to show you why we are the best, why we have more than 100 companies, MSPs migrated their Bright Gauge to us. Those include some of the Bright Gauges that they've been using Bright Gauge for 10 years. They have a sophisticated Bright Gauge, dedicated Bright Gauge developer. 4 or 5 of them actually get the full version Bright Gauge for free with different ConnectWise program, but still decided to choose our paid version. So we're not just like 20% better, we're like 6, 7 times better than the Bright Gauge.
Quick question here. That that dashboard that you have there, is that like like Bright Gauge, where it's like a dashboard that you can just easily access on like a website? Okay, I just want to verify that.
Yeah. So I'll do a little bit deep dive later, but a short version is anything Bright Gauge can do, we can do it. And there are a whole lot more Bright Gauge cannot do, we can do it.
Okay, thank you.
So then the next one is, this is actually what we're real value, the biggest value there. That's our name called MSPbots. Is a honest truth, right? So when we started 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, we were only want to do the bot. That's why we're not calling ourselves MSP dashboard or MSP widgets. But 1 year in the development, we get a lot of feedback from the MSPs to say, hey, we need the bots to drive the KPI, or we need the KPI to drive the bots, right? There are two different situations, but it's all related to the KPI. And who has a KPI? Brightgage. Okay, we reach out to Brightgage, say, hey, can we do do you guys have an API? Are you interested to work together to create some collaboration? Because we need the data from you. The answer is no and no. So we ends up actually spend about 18 months to develop our own dashboard, which is now a much better version, right? But the end of the goal is really say, how can we use data-driven? The keywords is process automation, right? You can have a dashboard to tell you some areas are wrong all day long, but if nobody take action on those data, then nothing happens, right? It's not gonna make any difference if your dashboard is red all day long and nobody doing anything. So this one, we mimic what right now, the version 1, we mimic what the management is doing. Check the data, alert the employee, give them the training, and hold them accountable if the training doesn't work. So end result is we gave the management, regardless you're the service manager, operation manager, project manager, sales manager, owner, we say we could, right, save 30 to 40% of a management time and energy, but we can do 100 times better job, right? So this is a crazy number. I understand, right? People are like, you gotta be kidding me. Well, I'll do the demo so you guys can make the judgment to see if this claim is true or false. Based on our existing clients, is that they love it, right? Many of it also depends on how much you deploy it, right? Is really achieve this one. That's why many of them says this is a game changer. Okay. So the next one, this one actually evolved, started with something we've been using internally in my own MSP. We've been using for years. Actually, the first version probably actually on my retail store side, 15 years ago, we developed this one. It's a point-based ticket triage system. So we evolved from the dashboard, eventually become a dedicated program. We support right now, we support the ConnectWise, Autotask. We just finished the Synchro version, and we're keep developing more. Next one going to be the BMS, NextTicket. So what it does is if you have a full-time dispatcher, our result shows it save about 80% of that person's time and salary. And if you don't have a full-time dispatcher, we can eliminate all those cherry picking, random picking, or picking in general, save average about 10-20 minutes a day for each technician. And the result, because it's algorithm based, is 100 times better, right? Result. So I spent about 10 minutes to show you guys how that works. Another small, tiny project we did during so initially we were working on a bot which can improve the utilization, because we believe the utilization is the number one KPI for the technician, right? For the ConnectWise user, ConnectWise always saying, if it's not in the ConnectWise, it didn't happen, right? In our world, right, you say, oh, you paid somebody 8 hours, you expect them to have that 7.5 hours working towards the technician every day. If their utilization is the 35%, right, it's either they're doing some, watch Netflix there, right, or they did the job but they didn't record, which is really affecting you and the data analyzing, right? So we figured out an easy way using the bot automated, we can pretty much improve the utilization to 85% into 4 to 6 weeks with very minimum effort from the management, right? And then the COVID hit, right? Everybody, like you guys, the survey shows a lot of people working from home, hybrid. So we're like, oh, we don't know who's working, who's not working, who's here today. And if they are working, which ticket, prioritization, how long. So we created a dashboard based on the data. Now, after COVID, even people come back home, office, right? They're still using it every day. So these are the 4 areas. I'm gonna do a quick demo, right? So Yeah, I'm gonna jump in, and most of you I see is already signed up the free version, so you can go through along the way, log in to the apps, right? Here, okay. So yeah, this is if you go to the HTTP app MSPbots.ai, right? We integrate with we use Microsoft Office 365 single sign-on, so you can sign in or sign up very quickly, right? Once you get here, typically we go through a quick get started, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 step. So go through the survey, then answer the couple questions. We need an Active Directory in order to get the user list, so we can send the mapping the user.
I'm going to
Them
stop you. I don't want you to waste your breath. I've already gone through all these steps for the free version that you've already provided.
Awesome. Yeah, just super quick right there here. Just go through this step. Once you're done, then we get here in the integration side, right? So this one, the couple of things is that this is how we acquire the data. As you can see, there's a long list of the software. Many of them you're probably familiar with. So we're releasing about 1 integration per week, right? And by end of the December, we're hiring more people. So we're gonna have 2 integration per week. 2 integrations per week released. So this is enable us to get the data from your business environment. So we can do the data analyzing or do the data-driven automation, right? So that's about it. The integration is really nothing special. Just go there, link whatever way it can, so you give us the data. Once the data come in, right? So it become the data set. So the data set side is we need a collaboration with the MSPs, because there's so much data available for each of the software. Some of them, like for example, ConnectWise, we could have a 500 data set. We only have a 200 right now, because we only do it when people ask us to do something, because we have a huge backlog for what people are looking for. So we have to prioritize it based on, what's the package, how many people needs it, how easy it is, right? So this is also compare with the Brightgauge user. Brightgauge have, I think, 25, about data sets, right? And while, we have a 200, but actually could get to the 500. So we're releasing the data set pretty much every week. So this is also come back here is a sum of the key difference between us and the Brightgauge side, right? So our back end of the data set, we support the SQL, Java, and Python to build the data set. So which, the Java, SQL is not really a, what do you call it, the language, right? Even it's called a structured query language, but it has its limitation. And Brightgauge also added some other extra limitation, like 210 days, no data set only refresh 5 minutes, right? It cannot support any complicated algorithm, otherwise it will time out. It's artificially made those limitations there. So we basically eliminated all those limitations, especially the Python. We can actually do the machine learning, like transcript the phone calls, analyze the sentiment of the ticket, enable us to do all kinds of a back-end data manipulation. It's almost like not almost. I typically people ask, can you do this? Can you do that? Our answer is number 1, can you get is the API available? Number 2, do you have a clear defined algorithm? Question.
Yeah, so my big question here is that I don't know if you ever heard of the company, but we use a company called Allworks for our phone system.
Yeah, I know.
And currently Brightgauge does not have integration for that.
Yeah.
How would we go about doing that with like MSPbots?
Yeah, so what we are working on is, so typically it depends on, right, if we have a different package, right, paid user, of course, the higher paid user request is a higher priority. Another thing is we kind of like we are building a service system, how many people needs it? That's another one. And then the third consideration is we say, hey, can we get help, official help from the Allworks, right? For example, Hunters, we're working, I met with Kyle from Hunters. on Saturday, one Saturday, right? Then we had a very good conversation. They're going to promote it to all the Hunters user. 3 days later, we have Hunters API up and running. So it's a pure business decision from our end between the, if vendors willing to help, how many MSP needed, if our paying client is asking for it or not. So we can decide which one we can do. So if you can convince our works to work with us, give us a support like a sandbox, API documentation, code development, or more important, marketing, bam, we can get it done probably next week. But if you're the only one using it, we did the survey, nobody care about it, that's probably going to be lower. But eventually we're going to get it all linked up. That's why we are hiring more people so we can release 2 integration per week to catch up. But still, it's only 2 per week. There are hundreds available out there. That makes sense?
Nope, it makes perfect sense. Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, so this is step 1. Once we get this one, then the data set, right? The data set, anybody familiar with the RESTful API? So typically it takes us 2-3 hours to build each data set if it's not too complicated. But if you do something like a Java, Python, data mesh between the 2-3 APIs, mesh the data, that might take longer. But this is a part that we can build pretty much any data set you want, right? Based on any integration if there's a logic clear defined, right? Once we get that, we call this, so then we go into this section we call the widgets, right? The widgets is basically, for the people who's familiar with the bright gauge, it's just called the bright gauge, call them gauges, right? For the people who's not familiar with the bright gauge, I'll give you a quick demo. Also answer the early question, like the one on the screenshot, this is actually the one. This is what we call a template dashboard. This is for ConnectWise, right? So immediately, typically it takes you about a minute to sign up, 10 minutes to link your ConnectWise API, 2 hours to synchronize the data, finish. Then you will get this dashboard immediately here. It's working, right? Of course, you can do the design, copy it, make changes all by yourself. But for the people who doesn't familiar with what the widgets is, each one of this is a widget, right? So let's go back to the widgets here. As you can see, right after box, you go to the template widgets. There's 2,400, close to 2,500 built already. And if you look at the created date here, right, you can see this one just created today, this morning, right? Actually an hour ago, we just released, right? So all these kinds of the financial performance on the agreement, backup success, projects. So every week we're releasing the new widgets for different kind of the integrations. Like this is automated, this is ConnectWise. We don't have somebody just sitting there and say, what we should release today, right? All of this is based on the request from some of the MSPs. Right, when they ask us to build something, we spend 10 hours, 5 hours, 30 hours, whatever. If we find out, okay, if we look at it, say, hey, most likely some other MSPs could also benefit this, we release this. Hence, this number is keep going up. The more MSP we work together, the more widgets you're gonna have, right? So I'm just taking a risk to say what the heck, I don't even know what this one is. So it will, the way you use it, right? So you click here, keep in mind, this is a build for somebody else. So sometimes it may be slow for you, maybe even doesn't have any data. So that's where you need to go in to come here, do the simple editing, say, oh, maybe it put in too much data, maybe it doesn't have enough limitation, right? Like this one, because this is the testing account, has a tons of the service board. So you say, I want to limit it to a certain service board. I want to limit it to a certain, user, or only certain company, only entered by, all those kind of stuff, right? So you can do the drop down, change the measure, all that. So quickly do some settings, then you create your own version of this one, right? So this is a pie chart, and you can have settings of what you want to change, the X, Y, all that kind of stuff. So basically, instead of create everything by yourself, you can go to this library, right? For example, just ConnectWise alone. Yeah, we have ConnectWise Manage is our biggest one, has 1,200 31 there, out of box, right? I think in the bright gauge, you have roughly about 150, and there's no new being added versus we are keep adding the new one based on the stuff, right? So if this existing ones is, or this 2,500 is not enough, the one you're looking for is not there, there are a couple of ways you can do it, right? You can do it by yourself. So out of the box, we have about a 21 visualization, right? Gantt chart, pivot table, heat map, those are the things that bright gauge doesn't have. Or for the people who using Power BI, right? I also want to mention, yeah, the Power BI, of course, you don't have a pre-built, 2,500 there. And of course, you don't have 50 integrations or one integration every week being added. So you have to do everything by yourself, maintain everything by yourself. And we have the MSPs, they lost their Power BI developer for whatever reason, that ends up everything just stuck there and start falling apart and the trouble to have, versus we can do all this for you already. But if you do have some like a Power BI developer, we can enhance those people, right? They can come here, create all this all by themselves. So it's a full BI system. It's not just like you can only use in whatever we build. You cannot, you can create anything you want right here with this 21, type of the widgets. And if this 21 is not enough, right? We gave everybody this this website. It's called Apache. It's made by Apache eCharts, right? So this is our visualization library. So you can go in, there are hundreds of them. Like this one was a couple of weeks ago. One of the New Zealand client, they request this one. They want to analyze how many tickets last 4 months, right? Per day, per hour, which hour is the busiest hour. If this is the real-time data, right? Last for 2 months, Wednesday afternoon is most busy time. So yeah, guess what? Don't schedule your internal meeting on Wednesday afternoon. Then when we developed the phone system for BVoIP, right? They use this one to analyze how many phone call, inbound phone call for the service team, right? So, oh, this is really busy time. Don't, or maybe Monday, maybe 9 a.m. is busy, whatever, right? So this one, the idea is we don't want to go back to here, right? Yeah, we really don't want to remove all the limitation, whatever the back end. 1 second. Oh my God. Sorry.
You're fine.
This one, I forgot that one did not say. Yeah. So regardless of the back end, whatever the way you want to manipulate data, if you say, oh, my cousin is a PhD statistics major from the MIT, they can use the Python to do some Monte Carlo tree prediction for my financial data, we can support it, right? If you say, oh, I have this kind of, this crazy chart, I don't even understand what the heck is this, but you can explain, hey, this means if you give me this chart, this is going to help me improve the business. And we look at it, that makes sense. We can make it happen, right? So there's essentially no limitation about how you want to do the data analyzing or data visualizing to give you the visibility of your data, of your business. Plus we already mentioned, we are constantly adding we have this community mindset, right? To say release more and more like a GitHub, that kind of way. So it's going to be, you can imagine next couple of years, we're going to have more and more widgets, dashboard all released. Plus for the, if you have a Power BI or if you have a bright gauge, we can do the free migration. Just give us what you're using right now. So for a bright gauge user, we average spend about 100 hours do the migration for you for free, right? So you don't need to spend the time to do that, right? So this is what we said, the BI side, going back to this slide, right? So we said we can give you, see, this is more than 2,300, it's already 24, right? With all the integrations and extreme visibility is easy adaptable for your MSP. Any questions before I move to the next section?
How do you submit a request for a new integration? Like just use like Unify, so we can maybe see some historical data on Unify. Is there a forum, or where do you email support at? What's the best way to do that?
Yeah, so we have actually we have a request new feature function, right? So you can generate new data.
Oh,
So we
perfect.
might, you probably should add the new integration. So we do a general feature, but we don't. This is the area. Open honestly, we need to improve it. We should have a kind of like a voting system, right? And some kind of way to calculate it. But let us know. But one thing I do wanted to say, right? If you have if you want an integration, the best way to make it easy, to make our job easier, is to, if you can get the vendor help. And the second, right, if you can get like exactly what you're looking for. If somebody just say, oh, I need a Unify, we're like, okay, then, right? But if you say, I want to Unify, I look at their API, is this API data. And once we get that data, I want to create this widgets. It's going to be a bar chart. It's showing this one, and then I can fit into the bots, right? You just made our job so much easier, which the product team said, okay, it's pretty clear, put it on the higher priority.
Yeah, maybe like a real-time historical uptime or something, and then attach a bot alert to that, so you're being a little more proactive if a ping stops, or, we have our ticketing system, obviously, and like Domotes and things like that, but, it might be a good place to have another, a third one, uptime, or Fortinet, good examples. We have a client that the Fortinet was kind of failing a little bit. It was like powering off, rebooting on its own. That would have been good to have like a historical data just to see on the, we can go through the logs, but makes it a little bit easier if we had a dashboard for it.
And even the log part, right? We're talking, we support like a Dropbox, right? So if the log file, we can through the Dropbox getting it, we can pass the log file, right? That's another way. We helped a couple of MSP done that, right? So pass the CSV or Excel file, or maybe just a generic log file. We can make it happen, right? Because our goal, right? Fundamental goal is if there's a piece of data that can help the management team or MSPs to make a better decision, faster decision, and execute some of the consequence actions, we can get it done. Yeah, for example, like this one, I don't know if I'm finding the correct unified API, right? If you say, hey, I need this model to become data set, I need this data, right? Author to trigger when author is empty. You just made our job so much easier. The more likely it will be sooner to be developed. Make sense?
Yep, perfect. Thank you.
Awesome. So yeah, so I think if nothing else, right, the summarize here is I want you to see where's a super powerful BI system, and we don't have any limitations as you cannot do that. So that possibly that it's too expensive to develop it. You're the only one to using it, but it should not be a case that says, oh, it's just something we cannot do, right? Because if even that 300 visual is not enough, you can go to the GitHub. There's thousands different visualization there. We could make it happen if it's really valuable, right? So then this is this section. The next one is for the people who use Power BI, Widgets, or any kind of reporting. We talked to so many people. Universally, we ask one question, right? Do you believe your team is spending enough time to look at those reports? You spend tons of time, build the report, verify it, put on the TV, right? It's rotating, it's refreshing every 3 minutes. The question is who's look at it, who's clicking it, who's chasing, oh, this is the Joe, this is the John, this is the Mary, right? To make sure the number actually went back from the red, become the green. Reality, almost like 90% of the company says, we're not spending enough time. And so many users says, the first 2 months, we built a tons of dashboard. After a while, we only have one dashboard because that's the only one on the TV that people have time to look at it. Rest of them, yeah, it's nice you have 2,500 of them, but we are not even looking at our 150. What's the point to get 2,500, right? So that's what we're trying to solve here is we can help you migrating a lot of those dashboard or create a lot of dashboard. But the issue here is who's going to look at it? Our solution. So we say, why let the human do it? Because 90% of the time, they're not doing a good job anyway. So let's do a bot to mimic the human, right? So here's how it works. Anything, regardless, it's a bar chart, pie chart, line chart, whatever chart, you can create the bots on the fly, right? So I said, okay, I'm gonna, instead of I hired Daniel as my service manager, he's too busy, overwhelmed, and not enough time, vacation, to check all the dashboard. I asked him to check. And by the way, he's pretty expensive, right? How about let's create a bots to do the job? So this is, I show you how easy you can create your own service manager or whatever manager. That's 30–40%, right? So there's 3 steps. First step is trigger. The second step is alert. Third step is escalation. For the trigger step, we mimic you as a human manager or owner or whatever to log into a software. Either it's a Power BI, Brightgauge, ConnectWise, Autotask. Actually, Autotask have a pretty good dashboard, right? You need a look piece of data. So we say, instead of us human to do that, we say, I want the bots to checking this widget called bridge resolution for ConnectWise. And whenever that number is more than 0, right, that's called a trigger. Something gonna happen. I'll show you the next step. And I wanted the bots to check it every hour or every minute, only on Wednesday, only on the work days, only before the 5, or you want to do it every 17 hours, only happen on the, April and August. I don't know why you do that, but you can do it, right? So this is a super flexible advanced scheduler. So the key point is here. Remember, I mentioned there's a 2,500 pre-built of the stuff here, and the ConnectWise alone have 1,200 of them. So it's physically impossible for a human to look at all these 1,200 dashboard or even 150 widgets, right? And it's a financially suicide. You say, okay, I'm gonna hire 20 people to look at it all day long. But we have an unlimited bot package that you can, theoretically create 100 bots to chasing every single data, every hour, every interval, whenever you want. And we also support the raw data set, right? So you can use any data set directly, to do whatever the tasks right there. So end of the day, imagine those yellow minions there, right? Tons of them every day, checking exactly what you want to check based on exactly the criteria defined at exactly the pre-scheduled time, 24/7, scanning all the data that we can collect, like the Unify, like a Sophos, all those kind of stuff, log file. Once we find, something match, it could be good, right? Hey, Daniel, you are the best, highest utilization technician last month, or your utilization improved the most last week, right? Kudos. That could be the good thing, but the majority of people using this one looking for the problem, because if you find the problem, fix it, then your business have no problem, right? So once you find the problem, what's the next? So that, because we're right now, the step 1 is we're mimic the management. So as a management, you don't go there and say, oh, you hired this guy, Daniel, but he's making mistakes. You say, oh, let me just fix it. No, you go there, reach out to Daniel, right? If that data set or widgets has a user field, you can use it as a token, right? Say, okay, Daniel, you can say ticket created by, time entry updated by, or just like send to GP, right? So what do you say? You can say whatever you want, right? This is HTML editor, but we say the best practice is hi, what happened, why it's important, and how you should fix it, right? So you can use the tokens, right, or in that, whatever the token to compose the message. So I'm gonna give you some real-time data to say, for example, the message could be, oh, by the way, this is the Teams. I'm doing the development, so I set up the forwarding. So this message in real time, real life, it's you need to install this bot in your teams where Microsoft certified, right? So then it will directly send it to James, right, the user directly. Nobody else can see this, but I'm doing the in order to do the demo, I did the forwarding. So it's become like I say, hey James, you're the level 1 tech, right? You've been working on this ticket for 45 minutes. Okay, so you need to escalate, right? That's the simple message. Hey, Rightwin, right? You have entered time entry is late for 1200 minutes. The company require criteria is 5 minutes, no more than 5 minutes, right? Okay, so what's the problem? Here's why: 1, 2, 3, 4, and here's how you can fix it, right? You can even create your own. This is a 2 minutes video we use as a demo. There's a tons of free recording software that you can record a simple video with your picture, your voice, your instruction, how people should do their job, right? So you created this one-time 2 minutes video, give people the training. The other stuff like, oh, okay, you forgot the next step in your time entry, right? So why, if Terrace is the first day come here, he received first time entry put in, not having the next step, he'll get this message like, okay, so what? Okay, because it's not help, it's gonna help you, other technician or coordinator, and also force you to think about what you should do to close this ticket, right? In this case, we give you examples. Oh, I did iDrag, I did this, I did this, I did this. Client called in, you're not available. Then the technician on the phone read the whole thing, still not sure what's next step. But if you spend literally 10 seconds, right, 15 seconds right down, then they can skip all this, just do this, and also force you to think what's the next step, right? So this is a simple bot, just checking the time entry to see if you write down this or not. But it made a big difference. Save the 20 minutes here, because everybody's scrambling, say, what's the next step, right? So help the people think about it clearly, how they need to do to close the ticket, right? So this kind of stuff you can, deployment is super simple. This bot is pre-built already. You just turn it on, test it. Then this is, I want to show you guys this one. This is what we say, how the bots, when the bot's working, what it should be, right? Like this is the next step. And Vipin is actually one of our employees still working with us. He's actually a pretty good employee, but the management is get too busy. Nobody is checking that or enforce that rule. So look at it. Before we turn on the bots, he's making about an average of 15 time entry without next step, right? So what we do for the bot deployment, you do a 15 minutes training. You call Monday daily huddle or a Monday weekly meeting, or Tuesday daily huddle. You say, hey guys, gather here together, right? I'm gonna show you this. This is a screenshot of a real bot. Okay, so this bot we already turn it on. So after meeting, you're gonna start to get these messages. If you didn't put the next step in your time entry, and this time entry is not travel, and the ticket is not closed, you gotta get a message. Why and what you should do, why and how, right? So it's so simple. You should not take more than 15 minutes training, right, to understand. So once you finish the training, you can watch this happening, right? You probably heard it take 21 days to form a new habit. This is a example of as a human, he cannot just 15 boom become 0. 15, but look at the progress: 9, 8, 5, 3. Oh, someday come back, then someday come back again. After a couple of weeks, it's barely making any mistakes. You give another month, the VPN just don't make a mistake. It become a safety belt habit, right? Nobody remember you put on a safety belt, you just do, right? So this is what we're looking for. Caveat here, right? In order to get this result, there's 2 important things. First, your employee has to be an engaged employee. They want to do a good job. The second, you have to clearly explain the why, so people understand, why we're doing this, and they need to buy in with this why. If you're not explaining it, they say, oh, this is just big brother. This is nagging. This is annoying, right? This is micromanagement, right? If that's their mindset, this won't work. So this ends up going to be, they just keep making the same mistake over and over, right? Then we develop the step 3 for the bots section to say the escalation, accountability, right? For the alerts, we can use Teams, channel, email, web message. In a couple of weeks, we have Twilio integration incoming. So we're going to be able to send the text message, make the phone calls to notify the human, right? But once that's done, we said that's the 3rd step. If they start fixing, awesome. But if they're not fixing, you can turn on the escalation. What that mean? Even your best employee is going to make mistakes here and there, right? So if they only have 2 time entry this week that has no next step, I would say awesome job, right? Great job. As a human, you only made 2 mistakes, you only forgot 2, and especially you fixed it. Great job. Nobody need to know. But once it's passed 3 times, we start sending to the user, right? Hey, you did this 3 times. Looks like you might need some help. If you need help, go reach out to your manager. This is why we need the Active Directory integration, because we need to find out who's that person's manager so we can start to escalate it, right? After 6 times, we'll tell your manager. 6 times come is, hey, Daniel, the John, your manager John has been notified, right? John, go reach out to Daniel, say what heck Daniel's doing. You know, that guy you just hired, keep making the same mistake over and over, right? Then this could be Daniel, John, you know, Chris, right? So you can level 2, then you can keep adding, right? Step 4 is, oh, it's got 25 times, right? This week, then keep going. You can even at a certain step, you say, you know what? We're going to involve the HR to document this, right? If that's what you want. So this is a way switch this proactive management, which management need to go scan the data over and over, right? Every Friday, sample a couple of time entry. Oh, I found Daniel made a mistake, which is a proactively management. And honestly, most of the management sucks on that anyway, right? Because they're too busy to do it. Now you change to a reactive management. It's only when bots is calling you, says, hey, you need to go look at that guy, Daniel. Then you take action. So this is made with, that's the go back to say, okay, we can, those are 30, 40%. If some manager doesn't even spend the 30, 40% of the time, which is another big problem, right? But for the people, most majority of people, 30, 40% time, you're clicking the reports, finding the problem, then chasing the employee, give them the training, give them the nagging, give them the threading, right? Hold them accountable. We can do it for you. But you're never going to be able to find a service manager that can check every single time entry for 15 different problems every single day for every single technician 24/7 in real time. That's just time entry. What about ticket? What about server? What about firewall? What about QuickBooks entry, right? We can do all of those, you know, just a simple step 1, 2, 3, right? So that's where we say we give this a superpower that humans are impossible, you know, for human to do. It's 100 times better job. Make sense? Questions? Okay. Nope. That's good, right? So another thing is as a preview, I want to say this trigger alert escalation working really well. So since start this quarter, actually mainly become maybe next quarter, we're gonna have the blocks actually can take actions. What are the actions, right? We can come here, some of them you see internally we're doing this, so we can turn off the bots, we can create a ticket, you know, close the ticket, add a journal entry, open your garage door, turn off the lights, right? So you guys get the point. Any API call that can take actions. And if you are confident, right, the inherently, if you take action, it has more risk instead of just sending a couple of alerts. But once we're confident about, hey, this trigger logic is a super, you know, tight, You can start just closing some ticket, update ticket, right? All those kind of stuff. So this is our 2023. We're going to spend a lot of time developing all kinds of action items that not only notify people, actually do the job for you. All right, so that's the bot section. So next one I want to talk about this is the next ticket. So the next ticket here, this one is solving this ticket triage problem, right? So solving the ticket triage problem. Here's typically when you first start, you need first managing this one we call a filter. So filter is hey Daniel, you're working on the reactive. You're hired to work on the reactive task, and any ticket is not closed, not in this kind of status. Also agreement name have a team 6 in it. That's your scope, right? You should work on. Also, by the way, we use the default template, which is I should rename it reactive. We can support reactive tickets, proactive tickets, or maybe project tickets, right? So those kind of different ways to do. Let me take a screenshot because I need to change this one there. So yeah, once before Daniel got to start working, you need to set up help Daniel set up what's Daniel default scope and what kind of a point system. Is the proactive points or the reactive? I explain later, right? Points. Once you set up, Daniel says, "Oh, finish the 5 days training. Monday, ready to work." Daniel's question is, "Okay, which ticket I should work on?" Either you have a self-dispatching, you need to train Daniel, or you have a centralized dispatch, gave Daniel a ticket. But for us, right, the design is that Daniel just click request next ticket. So, okay, what's next ticket I'm gonna do? So it does take a couple of seconds. It's like, go work on this ticket, right? Click here, jump to the ConnectWise, go start working on it, right? So this is the one way. Another way is, instead of even Daniel log into the MSPbots, you can just do this. It's called go to the teams, send the chat to MSPbots, say, what's my next ticket, right? NT short for next ticket. It says, oh, your next ticket is this one. Go click it, work on it. If you think it's wrong, you can reject it, right? That kind of stuff. So once this one finishes, Daniel may take 30 minutes to finish it, or may take 3 hours to finish it. Doesn't matter, right? Just one, and whenever Daniel finish, the type NT. At that time, there's a new ticket will be assigned to Daniel. So your training literally to the technician is you come in, type NT, get a ticket, finish it, type NT, get ticket, finish it, type NT, NT, oh, 5 o'clock, go home. Tomorrow morning, same drill, NT until the end of the day, right? No cherry picking, no random picking, no picking, right? It's instead of spending 2-3 minutes to figure out which ticket they should do, now it's 2-3 seconds waiting for bots to give you an answer, right? Super easy training, a lot of time saving, but why this ticket is the highest priority? So open under the hood. This is the management team needed to do is open under the hood. If you look at it here, right? 95 tickets open right now, meeting this, filter, right? The highest one got 113 points. We call it priority points. The lowest one got a negative 8,000, which means don't do it, right? So the points can go negative. So basically, the higher the point, the more important. The lower the point, the less important. How this point is calculated, you go to the setting. There are multiple settings, right? Client watch list, assign a user field, but you use priority rules. You go to the priority rules. Here's all the rules of how the points are calculated, right? So let's hypothetically say if for you guys who have a dispatcher, you say, oh, we doubled our business. That person is overwhelmed. We need to hire the second dispatcher. Or if you have a self-dispatch and you say, oh, Daniel, you're hired as a new technician. I'm going to give you the training, right? So how you can, I'm going to give you the training to say, I'm going to give you the training to say how you should pick the ticket. So instead of you train those two human, here's I show you how you train the bots, right? So you come here, look at these rules. Most of them are the natural language. For this case, right, we say if this ticket is assigned to Daniel, right, it's more important. How much more? 1,000 points. But if this ticket is not assigned to anyone, it's actually more important because nobody's taking care of it, right? Here, right? If you have a customer field, number of user that contains whatever, and the request the user is Adam, give them more points, right? If this ticket company has no payment and you are Adam, which is the service manager, I want you to take a look at that ticket first. But if you are not the service manager as this company have no payment, right? Account on hold, don't touch it because we're not going to get paid, right? So something like, oh, it's on the watch list. This company going to fire us, right? Let's treat them like a VIP for next whatever, how long. Hopefully we can save them. Oh, Daniel, you're assigned to this company. You're the account manager. So any of this ticket for this company, you should try it first, right? It's high priority. Decision maker is more important. VIP is more important. Super R VIP even more important. CEO, CFO, customer responded. Ticket has waiting for the client, but the client responded, more important, right? You have ticket in progress. Go finish that one before you ask them. The more money they pay, the longer past due, the higher priority, SL breaching, the ticket schedule next Friday, why you touch it, right? Longer the ticket age, all kinds of stuff, right? Like this one, a lot of very popular. If the ticket status is escalated, you are not a level 3 tech, don't touch them. You cannot even see them. But if you are the level 3, I want you to focus on those escalated tickets before you start working on others, right? Ticket summary is on and on and on. Because we also, you can request new rules if the rules is not meeting your needs, right? So what we found out is it's a super powerful, but also easy to implement because all you need to do is interview with your existing dispatcher or your technician, right? What they're doing, how they picking the ticket. You'll find out a majority of them not using more than 5-6 rules, loosey-gooseyly, right? So all you need to do, you don't need to turn on all of them. You just those 5-6 rules, map it here. It's pretty easy. Most of them are natural language. You can just read it, tweak it, using this preview function, right, to testing it, right? Once it's done, you can release it. Reality, there's no human being in the world, right, can calculate 95 tickets, right, for 20 some rules in 3 seconds. It's physically impossible. You can hire me, see Elon Musk. It's not going to happen, right? And I never see a dispatcher can dispatch both proactive, reactive, and project ticket 24/7, right? Because the NT command is 24/7 available there, right? 24/7, super accurate. I never found the technician, a dispatcher that has no capacity issue. I never found the dispatcher exactly follow the training the management gave that dispatcher, all these rules. Again, it's physically impossible. So this is a way more accurate, always online, super responsible. And another big part is we said many of our users, they start not assigning the ticket anymore to any technician, right? What's the point that you assign a technician 5 tickets while he only can do 1 ticket at a time? Matter of fact, you assign that technician 5 tickets, basically he's holding those 5 tickets to his pod. Nobody gonna touch it. If something happened to that technician, he's sick, he's not available or stuck with 1 ticket, the rest of 4 tickets is in the limbo. Why not just release to the public? Anybody can pick them up, right? So it's just all along the benefit for the next ticket. It's just way more efficient and powerful, right? Going back to this slide, right? So we can really do 100 times better job and the fraction save you tons of time. So that's the next ticket. Any questions?
Yeah, did you mention that NextTicket was unavailable for BMS?
Not yet. We have a BMS. We don't have enough BMS user to ask for it. We do have a couple of them asking. One of them actually wanted to pay us to do the development, but we got to get at least 10, 20 user to justify the cost. That makes sense?
Yeah, add us to it, I guess.
Yeah. So, but it's incoming, right? We just finished the Synchro literally yesterday because we're working with the Synchro co-founder. They want to push us to all the Synchro user. So yes, you get our priority. The same logic, but yeah, BMS is definitely so far is on our Q1 roadmap because we have 2-3 BMS clients. They really want it. And they say, "Oh, I'll pay you $10,000 right now," because end of the day, it's like I can go there, hire somebody $4,000, $3,000 a month, right? Do a very crappy job because most of the people hire the dispatcher is a level 1 or non-technical. Majority of them non-technical. Somehow you magically expecting that a non-technical dispatcher to predict the level 2, level 3, level 1 technician what they're gonna do tomorrow. I cannot even do that job, right? But somehow we have this non-technical person all day long, right? Try to triage this. It's better than nobody triage it, but it's far from no human being can consider these many factors in that split seconds, right? Cool. So the last one is this one is a super quick. We talk about this attendance function. So basically, this one you can do is yeah. So this is have an in-out bot, right? So I can do I say, hey, Daniel is coming in, right? So I just checked in. Then I say, okay, I'm gonna take a break, right? So then whenever I start taking the break, so you can say my color change to break. So they said Daniel is on break. Rest of the people, they're in progress. Well, they just started. Only one person has a ticket working, right? So then, so you can also do this one here, right? I'm taking the break. I can come back. Well, you know what? I'm going to show you here instead. So if you come here, you look at this is there's 3 ways, right? You can use it in the channel. So you say, oh, Richard start working 9:30 a.m. because it tells everybody. Danny started 9:32. This is the same way as you click that button or you directly type something here. So if I say, okay, Daniel gonna go for lunch, right? Here, so you can say Daniel start the lunch. There's a bot. Somebody's messing up with my testing account. Okay, sorry. I'll show you on the screenshot here. So whenever somebody type the back or a break, lunch or out, they're gonna get the message, this message. So basically this message is saying, there's a couple of things really unique here. We are the only one, the last 14 years from what I say is not using 8 hours to calculate the utilization, right? So the benefit there is that we actually can calculate the utilization, meaningful utilization in the morning, right? In this case, for example, this guy says 10 a.m. He wants to take a break. We say, hey, you worked for 2.39 hours. You non-overlapping billable hour is 1.82. So your utilization is 75%. Not bad, not good enough, because company requirement is 85%. Can you go click the calendar to get it fixed? Good, you don't have the overlap time entry or in progress. So this message sent to them while they when they type the in, out, the lunch break, right? So there's some other examples, 28%, or by the way, you still have a ticket in progress, right? Can you fix it before you go take lunch? So stuff like that, right? We're able to send this message real time, progressive real-time utilization number multiple times a day, right? Every day. So ends up, it's the same logic, right? You do a 15 minutes training. So, hey guys, we turn on these bots. what it does is check your utilization, check your overlap time, check your in progress ticket, right? So if any of this one you hit the, you see the instruction, follow it, so you can have a good utilization. You don't left the ticket in progress, while you're going home. Any questions? No problem. Let's deploy it, right? So all the management team need to do is, 3 weeks later, 2 weeks later, you suddenly remembered, right? Oh, let me look at, Todd, hey, Todd, remember that conversation we had, 2 weeks ago? Why you're not looking at the, why your utilization still 30% when the bots send, we see the log, right? Bots send you the message and you read it, right? We have a tracking pixel. We can tell you if the people read it or not, right? Or why you're not reading it. Can you read it? Or you are reading it. Why your utilization still 30%? There's really not much good answer. Typically, we heard people say, oh, I was busy. No. By definition, this is 28% says you're not busy. Well, I work very hard. I did. Okay, remember, if it's not in the ConnectWise, not in the task, it didn't happen. Yeah, but, I got distracted. Hey, it's so simple, right? Just do this. It doesn't take you 5 minutes. Go click the calendar. Okay, I'll do it. Right. After a while, it's really run out of the option other than I really don't care, right? Fire me. Please do, right? So that kind of situation. So this is what we say, really quickly start getting the people into the place, right? So then, that's what I think there's a bug here. Let me see what's going on here. Yeah, so then that's what we said, started saying when the COVID hit, right? So yeah, there's a bug here. We start showing this one. We can show the who's working on which ticket, and let me take a screenshot here. Then we can send it to the they made the some. This is our demo account. We keep constantly messing it up. So I probably should have a different demo account. Yeah, so we show you who's working, who's not working, and how long which ticket they've been working, and how long they have been working now, right? So that way you can triage different color, right, with the different people, so you know what's going on with them. So that's the attendance program, right? So any questions? Yeah, go ahead.
I've got two of them. So the first one that I have would be in relation to the different statuses within teams. If hypothetically speaking, if someone is in progress on a specific ticket and they try to type in lunch, will it not allow them to go on lunch until that gets flopped over? The status changes or no?
No, not right now. Right now the way they design it right now is we just remind them. They said they want to go to lunch, right? We just say, hey, your utilization only 23%. Can you go check it before you go to lunch, right? That's it. We can. It's a bot, right? They can just ignore it and still go to lunch. But we have all those records. You can have the conversation. Reality, if people only happen once a while, we really don't care, right? But if it constantly happen, you can go back and look at the report. Hey, why the boss remind you and you didn't take any action?
Right. I just didn't know if a ticket was still in progress, then the status wouldn't change within that attendance thing. That's all.
Right. We could, right? It's easy.
Right.
You can say, sorry, your launch request rejected. But right now, our idea is we don't want to become that like, we're casting the power over you. We're just like, we believe a majority of the people, they want to do a good job, right? They're just too busy, too overwhelmed. It's an honest truth, right? The MSP is a very stressful business for everybody. So it's too many things. So our philosophy is we're here to help you. And if you choose to ignore, maybe you have a legit reason for today, for tomorrow. Then again and again, then we said, let's sit down. Hey, Daniel, what's going on, right? Every day you have a legit reason? Most likely no. That makes sense?
Nope, it makes perfect sense. Thank you.
Yeah, but we can totally program it. If that's something, we can add a switch to say, sorry, you have an in-progress ticket. You cannot go to lunch, right? Then we reject it, and we even we even notify the manager. says, hey, somebody, have this one rejected. After that, after 5 minutes later, that ticket is still in progress, right? I don't know if it's working or not. So whatever the process, we can map there. Cool.
Yep. Very cool. Thank you.
So yeah, this part I talk about the pricing, the onboarding, right? Pricing, onboarding, all those kind of stuff, right? So if you go here, this page also public. I'll share with you guys here. Actually, let me see. Do I have a message part? Yeah, I'll post it here. So we break down into the multiple product. We also have the different bundle. We try to accommodate any size, any situation, any budget, right? We want people to, I designed this whole thing. I want people to be able to use it, right? Then I'm going to talk about some of the, calculation, discount, the additional information, right? So from the product breakdown, we have the BI, which is the business intelligence, all those dashboard, for the Brigade user. We said we have every single Brigade, enterprise plus feature, but we don't have 3 different versions. We only have one version, which is a highest version, and it's a cheaper price. Or we can do a free migration to help you migrate over and price matching whatever you were paying Brigade.
So I have a question. So we use BreakGauge to do reports for our clients.
Yeah.
Will this do that?
Yes, not only, we actually have some, most of the area we have improvement, because typically after we finish the development migration, people start asking, hey, can you do this, that Brigade I've been asking them for 3 years, right? So for example, we can do the, this is the client portal. You can customize with who the heck did this, the logo, this is a testing account, right? You can change the title. We have people even CNAME it, right? So that way you can just totally erase the MSPbots branding and have this kind of portal function for your clients there. And we actually have some of enhancement like our client portal. We're working with the Cloud Radio. They can integrate it and change the URL of all the ticket to Cloud Radio. That's direct, the ticket URL. And we're waiting for the Cloud Radio to finish the single sign-on so they can embed, our dashboard inside anywhere, right? Cloud Radio, or if you have anything other client portal function, we can embed our client portal into that software. That makes sense?
Yes, but I'm talking more like reports that show machine age and all that other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, so let me show you here. Client. So we have a lot of the client facing, client dashboard, audit report. So this is all for the client, right? All task. So how many hour ticket open, how many how many machine we're managing, how many patch we have done last week, months, quarter.
Okay.
Is that what you're looking for? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is all kind of dashboard templates that you can use, right? Agreement dashboards. So whatever, same thing, right? It's just like only thing is the permission, and you just go there, right here, right? Kind of portal management. You can add the whatever the client. We search you ConnectWise, right? Automatic ConnectWise or all task. We'll find the client information so the client can log in, and we automatically limit it to only their own information. But you can give them whatever the information you want to share. Cool.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah. So this one, yeah. The summary after migrated by like 100 Brigade user, it pretty much you can imagine a lot of people ask that question same way. The first one we say sorry, we don't have client dashboard, but it gave us 3 weeks to develop it, right? The second one says that you have it, but you're missing this feature. The third one, the first one. After right now, I think about 30, 40 of them using the client portal. So we pretty much have a lot of requests. But if you find something, hey, you wish we have, that's what we have, that 30 some developers every single day, they're developing the new features, right? So yeah, for the people who don't have the Brigade, right, we charge by per integration, right? Like PSA is 179, like that ConnectWise or Autotask or BMS. I think Autotask, BMS, we have about 300-400 widgets built, right? You can have all those existing widgets for ConnectWise user, that 1200 out box, this 179. You can have all of them and have all the editing, composing, client portal feature all included, right? So, and public dashboard, all that stuff. Then, the bot section, right? You can do the $1.50 per bots per month, right? You say, oh, I have 6 users. I want to chase the bots to chase them about the late time entry, right? That's going to be $9 per month, right? So we chasing them for that one, escalation, all that stuff. If you say, oh, I can develop so many bots, right? We have a pre-built maybe 40, 50 bots, and it's adding more. Our long-term goal is next year, we're probably going to have 500, 600 bots developed, right? But right now, you can develop your own using our existing pre-built one. So if it's more than certain amount of one, you have this $25 per user per month. You have unlimited bots. You can create as many bots as you want from any data you want, right? You have to have the BI first before you can trigger the bots, right? So then you can start to save that 30-40% of the time and do 100 better job than for your management team. So NextTicket is the same thing. If you have a 4 technician, it's $100 a month, right? $25 each, $1 a day. Eliminated the cherry picking, random picking, a super accurate dispatch result. And if you have a dispatcher, we can save them 80% of the time. There's still some human element needed, like on-site or urgent ticket, need a human jump in. But the rest of them, it's all fully automated, 24/7, right? The attendance is $4 a user a month, boost the utilization and give you the visibility who's working, who's not working, and which ticket is working on for how long, right? So all this kind of stuff, there's some onboarding stuff, right? And we have 4 different versions. You can choose the a la carte, right? Pick whatever you like. Or you can go, if somehow you guys sign up the free trial, you decide not moving forward for whatever reason, you can keep a free version. All the bots or dashboard you created, we're not going to delete it. You still have it there in case you want to come back, right? You can test for one bot, one user, play with it. But of course, as a for-profit company, we have to limit, how much you can use. If you say you like everything here, we find typically the startup bundle is a better deal. It's cheaper. You go to the bundle, we give you 4 integrations, 100 bots out of the box. Each more user is 59. You get 10 bots, right? And we give you the 6 weeks onboarding service, right? So it's a step-by-step. Our team will assign a dedicated account manager, data analyst, product owner to work with you in that 6 weeks, get all those stuff I'm talking about deployed, get them up and running. You need a training, whatever, right? We put self-paced training or some of times one-on-one QA, all that kind of stuff, right? To get you up to the speed. We also have this concierge service. We find out, right, most of the time, the MSP who's managing their BI or automation is the owner, service manager, or senior engineer. Those are 3 most busy, expensive resources. And honestly, 80% of them or 90% of them are amateur data analysts, not even, very good on it, but they're doing the job. Very expensive, very busy, and many times not even a good job. So we said we have about 50 data analysts. So we can do it for you. So you don't need to spend your time or you hire a data analyst to do it. So we included 2 hours per month, right? And it's $90 per hour if you need more, right? But this is what the most popular plan there. So it's a $7.99 for the 10 user, right? But it's include unlimited integration and a dashboard. What that means? That means all the current 60 integrations plus all the future integrations, because we lock your price for whatever you pay. We increase price about every 3-4 months. We do a price increase. because we have more integration, more widgets, more bots, right? Developed, more functions. So, but for people who paid it, they locked down the price for this. So you not only enjoy whatever we already have and all the future development, based on what we work with other MSP. So unlimited integration, unlimited dashboard, widgets, unlimited bots, onboarding included, and also have unlimited concierge, right? So it's almost like if you have 10 users, right? It's $800. If you go hire your own data analyst in Philippines, because our data analysts, majority of them are in Philippines, it's a junior data analyst in Philippines, costs you average about $1,200 a month. So it's almost $800. You get your own data analyst, right? Which is a trained in a big team, all the software included, right? So that's the professional bundle. It's just like your total care plan. Most MSPs selling the total care plan to the client because that's best for the client and the MSPs, right? Question?
Yeah, it's for that attendance manager particularly. Just because it says it's $79 for more than 10 users. Is that associated with the attendance manager, or is that a completely separate thing?
It's include the attendance manager.
Right. So let's say hypothetically we have 15 users. Do we have to pay for those additional 5 users for the attendance manager portion of it?
Yeah, if you choose the professional, the answer is yes, because the current package, we cannot break it down. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's included bots.
So it's included up to 10 users is what you're saying.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to verify. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, it's up to 10 users. It's $7.99. Then once you get 11, each one of $79. So that's also a very good segue question is, the user management is, we don't care how many users in your ConnectWise, All Task, Active Directory, you make a decision. If you don't say pay the 79, justify, because our development goal is every dollar you pay, you should see $5, $10 come back, right? If you didn't see it's useful, just go, we have 2 versions. You can change, you can disable that user, or you can change that user, or we already released the update. So you can update the user. Let me do a screenshot. We need to change this one. So yeah, so if you can change that user to a read-on dashboard only, so they're not going to be able to use the bots, NextTicket, and attendance, but they can still view the dashboard. So those users are not considered as a billable user. Right. If you didn't see the value, I don't care. You have a 40 ConnectWise user. If you say I only want to pay 10, so be it, right? There. So I want you to see the value. And you have a 14-day trial, right? You can please engage. If you have any question, please engage with support or email me, right? If any sense, I want to make sure you have an informed decision. If you're ready, you can just go to, there's a marketplace, make a payment, right? Sign up. Then once you make the payment, our team will reach out, right, to start to go through that onboarding process. So we are working with multiple companies. So these are all the coaching companies, working with them. So they coach their client. They do help us do the onboarding, development. So there's some discount available, right? And if you guys are in the peer group, there's also a 10% coupon, for the peer group if you have 6 or more onboarding at the same time. Because we find out the peer group is really helpful. It's really the win-win-win situation. One case is we have a peer group, they all MSPbots Con. So one guy spent about 30 hours in the 2 months, right? Developed this dashboard and a couple of bots managing the after hour, something like that, process. So he did in their peer group, did a show and tell. Then immediately we got 3 tickets generated with a screenshot says, copy this couple of dashboard and bots into my account, right? So it's really become a win-win-win situation. The peer group has a lot of collaboration and we can facilitate those. So not just share the experience, and you can share the dashboard and the bots, right, to help you automate the stuff between it. So we wanted to encourage the peer groups to all go. It's kind of like a group purchase, but also a group of collaboration, right? So rest of them, everything's month by month. There's no long-term commitment, but we do have people, they take advantage of this 10% payment discount, because you get 10% off if you go for the annual, and also the tax season is coming, right? So if you have a profit left there, pay it upfront, so save some tax, so you don't need to pay, at least not paying this year, right? So that's but it's your choice, regardless either way, which way you want to go. And we have the free migration. We typically limit to 50. It's mainly just make sure we're not even you have the Power BI, we can do some of the free migration. We just don't want to migrate to something nobody's using, right? Don't send us something you're not using. And last one, we have 120 days unconditional money back guarantee. So this unconditional means you say, hey, Daniel, you lied to me. This is over promising. You cannot do it, right? Or, hey, your employee sucks, right? They're under delivered, they're rude, they're, I don't understand what the heck they're talking about, right? Or you can come back and say, yeah, sorry, I paid you guys 2 months, but we got this project, we're super busy. We don't have any time to do anything. We'll do the onboarding maybe next quarter. Can I get my money back? That happened once, right? So far, we had one client, ask the money back guarantee. They said, sure, no problem. Here's your money. Because the philosophy is, I've been in the MSP world before, right? I have my fair share of those. Oh, you signed a 3-year agreement. When? Yeah, it's really pissed me off, all those kind of situations. I don't want to do that to anybody, right? And also, if you didn't see the value, if we cannot earn your business month by month, or first 120 days, then don't worry about it. I'm sorry to waste your time, but at least we didn't waste your money. That's everything. Any questions?
How many people did you say had Kaseya BMS requests in?
Yeah, so sometimes it's the chicken and egg, right? We have 3 paying, everybody is ConnectWise and Autotask. We have 3 paying BMS client. But we constantly have people ask, hey, when do you develop the BMS stuff? So it's kind of like, oh, when we have enough people. But I can see, right? If we have it, then someone will be onboarding already. That makes sense?
Yeah. Because I think for us, the NextTicket would be our most important pain point for us. But if it doesn't have, we use BMS. So if it doesn't have BMS, it doesn't help us, right? So
yeah, no, I totally understand. So that's why we're hiring 2-3 people a week right now.
Yeah,
to try to catch up. Actually, most of them actually is allocated on the BI and the micro training side, because there's a bots request, most likely the BI request, right? People are doing. So NextTicket, it's on our Q1 plan.
perfect. Thanks.
Cool.
It looks like here you do have IT Glue integration.
Yes.
How does that work with your system?
So IT Glue, if you go to the first, right, go to the data set. So here's how you see, there's any question for any integration, right? So you can go to if you linked it already, that's fine. If not, right, you can come here, say, let me take a screenshot. I ask them to do the thing, sort by the letters. IT Glue, where's the IT Glue?
Oh, it's down,
You just passed it.
down, right there,
Right there.
lower mid.
Yeah.
One more. Yep.
Somehow we keep looking for the blue ones. Sorry. So if you see here, here's how it works, right? I think this is a very good question. I explain this. You see here, we have a 7 data set, right? But if you go to the Google, right, IT Glue API. So you come here, how many data set we could have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 20, 30 of them, right? So we can say, so for example, you want to analyze the platform. So do we have it? We don't. So you need to submit, say, hey, I need to analyze how many, platform they support, how many of them doesn't have platform, whatever, right? So all this is the data that we only put 7. So answer your question, what we can do. First, you can see all this metrics data, all that kind of stuff, right? Once we get the data set, which means this 7 could become 30 if somebody asks us to do it. Then we say, okay, what's the data set? What's the widgets, right? So same drill, right? You go to the IT group, so you go to the template, then go to the IT group. Do I have IT group here? IT group, right? So we have 19 of them. So what those 19 is a user reputation leaderboard, right? So, oh, sorry, this demo account doesn't have a link, so cannot see the data. So yeah, so this is 19 KPIs developed. Could this one become 29? Depends if there's an IT group, a partner willing to work with us, right? Then once you get this one, you can start say, oh, okay, this organization lost us 350 leaderboard, right? So you can say, I'm going to create a bot. I'm going to say, if this is last month, maybe say, hey, Daniel, you are the winner of our last month. You have the most points. Here's $20 Amazon gift card. Thank you for being active on the IT group. Or you can say, hey, John, you are lower than 30 points, right, for the last month. What do you need to do to improve it? Right, so that's where you start going. This is logic applied to any integration, but that's specific for IT group. That's what we have and what we could. That makes sense?
No, it makes sense. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, this applied to any like those, Unify or a lot of them. Open honestly, we get people in, they only have 1 or 2 data sets because people specifically ask that integration for that purpose only, right? But once we finish that one, that's a super starter. So there's really not much limitation. The limitation is do they give us the data set, right? If they don't give us the data set, nothing we can do about it. But and do you have a clear design what you want, right? If we have data and you have a clear design what you want, and it's not too difficult, or it's not you are not the only one needed, it could happen pretty quickly. Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions? Cool. So this recording will be uploaded, right? So in case you need to review it again, or you need to share with some of the people in the company, right? Feel free to do so. And I'll send some of the, I'm sorry, because all the name there, it's gonna be maybe I send it to whatever and the registered email with some follow-up, right? And with the pricing, all the stuff, play with it. Reach out to the support, right, for any questions. And like I said, the pricing is super flexible. Even you say you only want to do 1 BI, 2 user test NextTicket, or 1 user, only 5 user using attendance, it's totally okay. You can make it happen, right? And yeah, then hopefully you see this is a truly, as early I say, the people say this is a game changer. If you fully deploy data-driven decision-making, right? All the decisions quickly, the bots remind, the dashboard there to tell you what's something wrong, and the bots is running 24/7, help you managing the business, right? Hopefully you can see where your business is gonna be, right? And especially with our professional bundle has a concierge service, we're here every day, we're hiring more and more people to have all those data analysts to help you fully make this become the reality, right? It's not going to be easy, right? But I think you can see once you get there, you're going to give such a huge advantage, to grow the business. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to end the meeting, and feel free to email